Hello everyone! Welcome back to the Purple Pumpkin. I'm going to give you guys a tour of the back garden today. It's the middle of August, which means it's almost time for me to change my gate. I like to keep this seasonal, and I have a Halloween one that will be coming out. Yes, I'm going to be celebrating Halloween starting now. Anyway, we have some pumpkins on this arch here. These are Jack B. Littles, the ones that have stripes. I'm not entirely sure they look like Jack B. Littles, but they have stripes. That's okay. And there's also a clematis on here that I guess is a sweet autumn clematis because it is blooming and it is beautiful and it came out of nowhere and I'm thrilled. It has a very whimsical quality, which is like literally everything I'm about. So let's go through and we'll just start right here. I'll talk about this in a bit. So this bed is kind of a mishmash right here. I'm probably going to edit it in a few weeks or so. But we have a sedum up here. There's a couple pumpkins in here. Some zinnias. And I did get some angelonia. They're looking really pretty. These are pretty. This is the first time I've ever grown angelonia. And they're beautiful. I love them. And then this one that's flowering is actually oregano. They have cute blooms too. So what I did was, with some of the branches, I laid them in and I covered them with dirt. So they will probably form their own little roots. There's also a snapdragon in here. This foxglove is going to seed. I'm hoping to collect seed off of it. And on the arch is just a clematis and a pumpkin. This one's a little behind. See if we can see this guy. Ah. And this tree's doing okay. I think it's gonna make it. I think we'll let her live. Okay, I am voicing over this part because I was taping while my neighbor was mowing. I don't know what I was thinking, but it got very loud for a minute. So, here I'm just showing you where I used to have the canopy frame. And kind of like all my hanging baskets. I've taken it down because I've started work on my greenhouse for this year. It's like literally just started work on it like a couple days ago. So I've taken off the top part that kind of like makes the roof. And that made it so that I was able to straighten the legs out. And I'm really just using the canopy frame as like a guide to build the rest of it. And I'm using pallets around the bottom. And what my hope is to cover these with wood so they look nicer. And then have hopefully the top half done with windows. You've probably seen how that looks on Pinterest or whatever. I'm having a hard time finding like really cheap or free windows. I feel like I used to see them a lot, but I think people caught on to the fact that people wanted those, and now they're a little bit more expensive. So, we'll see. It does have to be a temporary structure also, so I might just have to keep it plastic. We'll just see how it goes. For right now, it's coming along great so far. I'm just using like the scrap wood that I have around. That one pallet has a crooked panel, and every time I look at it, I think like Berenstain Bears, No Girls Allowed, the clubhouse, right? But in the meantime, I had taken all my hanging baskets down and I just kind of gathered them over here, and I kind of love it actually. It's very cozy, and I love it. So I have a calibrachoa up here and a petunia, and then in the window basket I just have a verbena. I believe that one's sparkling amethyst, and then I have some alyssum, and I have a couple ivy plants in pots. I love ivy. And then I have some more balcony petunias in that hanging basket down there. And in my big purple pot, I have a little cypress evergreen tree and a verbena. And then I have a couple plants down here that I'm just growing on for next season. So just some seedlings that I pulled from, there's a viburnum in the front that dropped some babies this year, and a couple rows of Sharon. So I'm just growing them on for next season. And these balcony petunias, I love them. I'm definitely going to grow them again next year. They're from Baker Creek Seeds. They come in all different colors, and they're beautiful. And then this hanging basket here is a Walmart clearance find, and it's been going all season. It has a verbena in it and a calibrachoa as well. And then I have my little birdcage lantern thing that I made with twinkly lights. And then in this pumpkin, I can never remember the name of this pink plant, but they were like $2 at the beginning of the season. They got really big, and I love them. And then I have another petunia in there and a lobelia. And over these two last ones, I just have alyssum in here with the fairy. And then a supertunia bubblegum, of course. This is the fairy garden area. I was going to make a separate video because I kind of just redid this whole area. But I mean, it's kind of redundant, so it's just really overgrown. It needed to get spaced out a little. So this alyssum is back in bloom. I cut it back about a month ago, so I am thrilled with that. I love alyssum. It's so pretty and it smells delicious. Lovely. And then in here, I tried to kind of edit my plantings. So for this bed here, I am going to focus on a few things. Agastache, which is this right here. This is the lavender mint, grown from Baker Creek Seeds. So I have that in here. I have penstemon as well. And echinacea. I have like a ton of like echinacea seedlings, and they all got mixed up, and there's a few green twisters, there's a few double deckers. None of them have bloomed. They just haven't gotten enough sun. But now that I have moved a lot of stuff out of this bed, I'm hoping that these seedlings will start to grow more. I don't expect that they will bloom, but they'll grow more anyway. And then I'm probably going to have to split this guy at the end of the season or beginning of next season. I just gave her a huge trim. These are balcony petunias in the front from Baker Creek. And I have a coleus here. And then I did put some angelonia. I picked these up at Home Depot. They were like on clearance for like $4, and I was able to split them, so I got like 12 for like $8 or something like that. It's great. There's a sedum in here, but mainly the focus is those three things. So echinacea, agastache, and penstemon. I do have a couple of little Jacoby littles growing on here. I just hung those tomatoes on there for a second. But these are finally starting to take off. I moved this little dwarf Alberta spruce to this side. It was over there before. I just moved it over here so that there's one on each side of the arch. Balance. This is a jigsaw pepper, one of my favorite plants that I don't grow for the peppers. I just grow it because I love it. So pretty. And more balcony petunias along the edge here. You can see they come in lots of different colors. I'm partial to the purple, obviously. And I'll swing around this way now. I do have also a couple of ageratum in here that kind of popped up on their own. Those are starting to get enormous. I love ageratum. It's probably my favorite annual. Okay, so what I did was I really felt like this fairy garden needed more shade. So I moved my Ruby Slippers hydrangea over here because she can handle more full sun than a normal hydrangea, and it's right outside my window, so I'll get to look at her when she starts putting on her beautiful fall color. And it's providing a nice little bit of shade over here in the fairy garden. I do have some snapdragons along the edge. Here, this one here is blooming. This is its second flush of blooms. This is the Cherry Twist snapdragon from Baker Creek. So I got a bunch of those around the edge. This is another petunia here and an alyssum. And then basically me and my daughter kind of remade this little thing. Gave it a little bit of a makeover, a little bit more color. And then I moved my wisteria. I had it on the porch in a pot. Now it's in a bigger pot. This is a huge pot. It's huge. So it's going to be fine. We're going to take it one season at a time with the wisteria, okay? It's going to be fine. I did put a verbena in here just to kind of give it color for now, because I put more of this hardy geranium in here in hopes that it will kind of come over the edge. Those will pick up. It's a great plant. Hard to kill, so they'll be fine. And then I also put some spooky dianthus in here. Got this little guy, this little cement mushroom that we made. And then we just refreshed a lot of the moss because it was getting super faded. And I did take the sides in on this, so it's just a little bit less of a footprint. And the last thing I did was I replaced the pavers and I just put rocks in here instead, stepping stones, because I'm trying to gather as many pavers as I can for my project over there, where I'm just trying to fill that area with pavers. I put a little spirea in here. Here my little gnome is going fishing. And then his brother is growing some stuff. There's a little tree here. And this is the section that I was really not loving before. I'll see if I can put a clip in. It was just rose campion and penstemon before, and I was like, I need to do something with this. I like to put, my palette is mostly like cool colors, like blue and purple, obviously. But whenever I started adding blue stuff over here, it just was not looking right. So I decided I'm just going to make this whole area kind of warm. And I love it so much more. It looks so much better now. I did put some hardy geraniums in here. And I think they will give it a bit of coolness. But I think they're going to offset really nicely. They're a bright purple. So I put some coleus in here. Some heuchera. This here is ajuga. So I'm trying to do like really low stuff in the front here so that you can focus on the cauldron planter. I did find a couple of salvia mystic spires. I can't remember the color of it. It's purple, but I can't remember the name of the color. So I got a couple of those for $4. And then back here I have leprechaun gold columbine that I grew from seed. I do have some peas starting up on the trellis. And then my gorgeous cauldron planter with celosia and creeping jenny and verbena. And I just love this so much. Love, love, love. Oh, and I got my climbing hydrangea. Finally. I had that hole dug for like 2 months. This one was nice and big at the store too. So she is in. And there's a little arborvitae there. I'm super excited about this hydrangea. And as we come around here, the moon garden is looking quite lovely. I took down that bird bath that I made. They weren't using it. I think it's because it's too full sun over here. I read that they like to have some shade, so I think I'm going to put a bird bath over there with the tree. For now, I put my purple pumpkin on here and I kind of love it, yeah? You know, it's meant for one of those like magic balls. So I was like, why not put a pumpkin instead? So in here, it's kind of a mess a little bit, but this penstemons got to get moved probably. These lambs here are kind of starting to, I'm sorry, not lambs here, lamium is starting to kind of get a little ratty. I think they don't like a lot of sun, the hot sun. I did move some of my spooky dianthus, the white ones, over here. It has rained for like the last 2 days. That's why they're looking kind of sad, but. And then there's a white ageratum in here as well. That self-seeded from last year. Here's some alyssum, and then I did put a white balcony petunia in here. And there is a white black-eyed Susan vine on there. These hydrangeas are looking good. I just took the pavers out of here as well. I think I might do a project here. I'm not quite sure. I think I might do something like glow in the dark stepping stones. I think that might be awesome. I got this ghost. I'm not sure if I talked about it yet. I got this ghost at Savers for like $3 and I'm obsessed. He's amazing. He will be year round for me. There's a white coneflower over here and a bunch of seedlings of that. And then I did put a couple little rows of Sharon in here as well. And if you saw my fence video, we got a new fence. It looks amazing. Don't look at the house, that's messy. But the fence looks great. So I gotta fill in this area a little bit. I am kind of bumping some of the stuff back, so I got a couple of hydrangeas in here. This lilac is starting to put up shoots on the side, you can see. So it's probably going to turn itself into a little bit bigger. And I'll just leave it be for now. I love lilacs. Even though they get powdery mildew towards the end of the season, like now. So the fence is looking great. This is a dappled willow that I love. This is an amazing azalea that I love. I really like her form. She's like different. I have a forsythia back here. And then you can kind of see where we bumped out the fence line. So I'm going to have to figure out what to do. Either make this bigger or just fill in with some shrubs or something. It's very shady over here, so hard to decide what to plant really. Here's what I mean. This lilac has powdery mildew. This happens every year, but what can you do? I mean, I could get rid of them, but I love lilacs. I'm not harming anyone. Alright, a couple more hydrangeas here. Jacob's ladder here. And then my tree. I've made a little, like a spider web out of rope. It's like clothesline rope. So I like the way that came out. I got my Blair Witch thing up there. I made a video about most of these crafts. And hopefully I'm going to do a few more. And that's about it for this section. I need some work over here. There's not that much to show you over here by the shed, but look at this bloom on this hydrangea. Is that not amazing? It is everything. The colors are so pretty. I see a spider on here. Hey buddy, don't eat me. Look at this hydrangea. It's gorgeous. I put a little astilbe in there and a hardy geranium. This area has like a lot of bulbs, so there's not a lot going on over there. This little bed just has a few hydrangeas. This one, these are all from the same plant that got split. And I don't think it's going to bloom this year, unfortunately. But pretty much all the other ones did bloom, except for one. There is I think that's a gold mop cypress, a little dwarf rhododendron, a boxwood, and then this hydrangea is looking pretty good. She got really big over, I just got this at the end of last season. Plenty of blooms. Really pretty. And then we have the pumpkin patch, the vegetable garden, the main garden. Here she is in all her glory. This row is all tomatoes here. They're mostly still green. There's a couple red ones. This edge just has mostly sedum in it. There's a few ageratums in here as well. There's one little bloom. And I'll see if I can't show you a couple pumpkins. There's one there. I just went in and rotated these so they don't get all mushy. There's one over here too. Hey girl. There's another one right here. Can you see it? There it is. She's hiding. And then there's a green one over there. I'll show you. Also have a little butterfly bush here. This was the only one that came back for me this year. Couple coleus and a variegated boxwood, which I love. spot, I planted some forget-me-not seeds. They were starting to look ratty, so I just pulled out the old ones and planted some new ones. Plus they kind of, the seeds are like burrs. So once they start going to seed, my dog, he gets the burrs all over him. So I was like, I'm just going to pull these out. There's yarrow in here and another ageratum. This one got really tall. There's a bee on there. And this heuchera, I kind of like the way this yarrow is coming through. It almost looks like the heuchera is blooming that pink, but it's not. That's a yarrow bloom. Tons more pumpkins in here and climbing the arch. I made a video about the pumpkin patch a little bit. You can check that out. There's a few more snapdragons in here and another ageratum. And then these cosmos. These white ones are really pretty. They kind of remind me of a fried egg. Excuse me. This is what I'm talking about with the pavers. I just want to fill this side, this area with pavers. We're getting there. Because we want to do it for free, obviously. I don't want to spend any money. There's a geranium in here. This dahlia has gotten enormous, but hasn't bloomed in a while. Not sure why. This ageratum is looking fantastic. Love the color. And then in here I have a lot of agastache, lavender mint agastache, and a couple of darker sedums. I'm liking it. I was thinking about redoing it, but now that they're all in bloom, I think I kind of like it. My herb spiral is out of control. Look at the parsley. I was hoping that there would get some caterpillars, but nothing yet. Last year I had a lot. I grew dill, and I had a lot of caterpillars. But I lost the seeds that I collected, so I didn't grow dill this year. Oof, that's looking gross, but just have to deadhead that. This is what it's supposed to look like. Dahlia. This one my sister-in-law got for me. It's beautiful. There's some yarrow in here. This area, I haven't quite decided what I want to do in here, but I think I am going to edit it. I might go like yarrow and just like other ferny stuff. Maybe chamomile next year. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe dill. This raised bed I've explained a couple times. I switched out the bricks for cinder blocks, so the dirt is not high enough yet, but it's doing fine so far. And then I picked a bunch of the pumpkins off of this arch. I guess they're more gourds than pumpkins. These were kind of surprise. Surprise, we're not what you wanted, but we're still amazing and awesome. So I just put them like around this raised bed. It looks cute. This hydrangea is about to bloom. It is August 16th. Okay. This one here is in bloom. Look at how bright this one is. She's in bloom. The last one down there, no blooms. That's the only other one that didn't bloom this year. This here, this is an elderberry. Have one way out there. I got babies off of it last year, and I put a baby in here literally last year, and this is it now. I pulled some babies off of it this year. I put one in here. right there. So we shall see. Next year, it should look like that. We'll see. There's lemon thread cypress in here. And then, sorry for the swinging, but this is a bunch of blue spice basil. Has a very strong scent, and it's really nice. And so does this bee balm. This is spotted bee balm. I showed it in my front video. I don't like to get too close because these things, there are some pretty insane wasps and things on here that are a little bit scary. But I like that they are enjoying it. And then I think this is the last part, right in front of the pool. You just have a lamb's ear here, a couple shrubs. They have this Weigela, is gorgeous. I believe that one is the Wine and Roses. I have a Pieris in here. These in the front, you guys, these are Gomphrena. And I started them from seed 3 times because I kept having trouble with them when they were starting. And now that they finally took off the 3rd time, they have been planted, you know, since the beginning of the season, and they are just now finally starting to bloom. So I don't know why I thought these were like an all-season bloomer or that they were really easy to grow. I just had a lot of trouble with them, so I won't be growing them again. I'll stick with my ageratum. This is easy to grow, and they have similar like flower heads, which is kind of why I got the Gomphrena. I thought they'd be cute together, like the little pom-pom type blooms. But listen, if it doesn't bloom, they're not cute together. These are gladiolas. I don't know if they'll bloom. They should have. The ones I put in last year bloomed on their first year. I put these in because the ones in the front came back for me. So I was like, let's try that again. There's some bee balm and some yarrow in here, and there is a Weigela back there as well. And some forsythias that are kind of out of control. I keep trimming them back, but I didn't get enough control of them when they were small. So that's what's happening there. And then this whole area I hope to work on in the fall, perhaps. I'll just let you know, like I'm a wig maker. That's what I do. I have an Etsy shop and I make wigs, and it's the middle of August now, which means Halloween is coming, and I usually am not able to do much of anything in September and October. I don't leave the house very much. I don't have the luxury of being able to like limit how many orders I take, because I make about 80% of my yearly income just in these couple months. So I am very busy, and I'm nervous. I'm really nervous because the garden is, I spend a lot of time working on the garden during the summer and the spring and everything, and when fall comes I just get so busy that I'm afraid it's going to get neglected a little bit, but I'm going to try to stay on top of it as best I can. So, and with videos as well. So I really thank you for watching this video, and I hope you will like and subscribe, and we'll take a tour again soon. Maybe we'll do some DIYs. I like DIYs. Thank you guys so much for watching, and bye.